Welcome, everyone. You are listening to episode 2 of 2BlueandOSU, the ultimate sports podcast for your entertainment. I am Zach. I am joined today with my co-hosts, Morgan and Doug. Morgan, how are we doing today?
I'm good, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm great. I am awesome today. I have a question for you real quick.
Yeah, shoot, buddy.
What's it like being part of a fan base that needs help spelling the state from which their team hails? What's that like?
Why don't you elaborate that for me?
You know which one I'm talking about. It's your guys' favorite chant. You guys need help.
So we need help spelling OHIO.
Yes, that's the one. That is the one.
What do you have against that? Are you tired of hearing OHIO?
It's
every
four
year?
letters. How difficult is it for you guys to spell the state? Is that embarrassing for you?
No, because I enjoy walking into the big house and chanting OHIO while we stomp you on the way to Big Ten titles and stuff.
No, the Big Ten title this year. Did you guys win that?
No,
No.
it wasn't this year, but we did win a national championship last year.
Hey, Doug, there's the Ohio State fans talking about history again. They're always talking about history. Yeah.
How are we talking history when recently?
It's not recent. That's 2 years ago now. We're done. Bama is the national champions right now.
Okay, and when was Michigan's last one?
Who cares?
Exactly.
Anyways,
Yeah, move on.
I have Doug on the phone with me. Doug, how are we doing today?
I'm good. I was a little confused with that. Do you just have a problem with them spelling their name?
I have a problem with that chant overall. I think that's probably top 2 worst chants. I think Michigan State's "Go Green" and "Go White" is number 2 for me.
Oh, no, Go Green, Go White is the worst.
Who are they cheering for at home?
And so I hear it.
Hold on. Do you know what I have a problem with? The number 1 recruit in the nation forgetting what colors Michigan is. He didn't even know what the colors of Michigan were.
He was nervous. Get off him.
Nervous. Get out of here.
He said maize and yellow.
Get out of here. Maize and yellow. Yeah, exactly.
At least he's not maize, right? I mean,
Hey, Doug, I got a question for you, Doug.
yeah, what's up?
Did you see ESPN's Mark Schlerrich's way too early top 25?
I did see the way too early top.
Where was Michigan at?
Ahead of Ohio State.
Michigan was 3 and Ohio State was 10. I guess that kind of kills Morgan's we don't rebuild, we reload nonsense that he spews.
You done? You guys done yet? You done?
Finally gloating. I could do this all day.
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
Can I finish? No, I'm kidding. I'm done.
You guys done now? Can I go now?
I don't care.
So first off, when was the last time you guys were ahead of us? And
this year. So we're talking about recent stuff this year.
Okay, you're right. I just want to go back to I know you're gonna be like old history, but the year we won the national championship, we were way too early preseason, ranked 9th. How'd that work out for us? I'm pretty sure we won the national championship for that year.
You guys fluked into the playoffs based on your fan base.
So before you get all
Michigan wasn't ranked 3rd
number
that
3. You're right, but they're not going to be the first in the Big Ten, so it doesn't matter. We reload.
I usually hate preseason polls, but I love this one. I don't know why.
Right.
There's something about it.
Well, I'm pretty sure we had the second youngest team that year we won national championship too. So.
And now they're all going pro.
You're right, but we just bring in more, and we got a bunch more on the bench. So, you guys enjoy your way too early February rankings of number 3. You guys enjoy that. You guys.
Morgan.
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
Morgan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know that Ohio State is the only team to ever have to forfeit wins because their coach went and played during the game?
Yeah, and I mean, and I get on them for that too. So. You guys have that over us, so good for you. You guys can bring out the past.
I don't remember how long ago that was. It's like the beginning of the football era. But how does it feel to just have a tradition of cheating? How does that feel?
I don't know what that feels like either.
You're right. I don't. How does it feel to know you're going to get beat by Ohio State every year?
I think we're still in the lead, aren't we?
Oh, by at least 10.
Yeah, because if we're going history, you guys had like a 20-game win streak in like 1920. So Good job. You guys were.
Is that part of the rivalry? Does that?
Yeah, but do you want to go over the numbers?
So it counts?
Back when real men played football with their leather helmets, not even helmets, they just went out there in a sweater and just hit each other. Now we got a bunch of prima donnas trading their jerseys for tattoos and all kinds of garbage.
We'll get into that topic here soon. That's coming up. You're making fun of us for being excited about February late to early top 25 polls. Here's a post from Morgan Garber on July 4th, 2015, after a recruit committed. Hello, number one recruiting class. How'd that work out for you?
Oh, it worked out great. He actually decommitted, went to Michigan, and fell in the ranking. So,
yeah, he also said new RBU when you posted who in the class could compete for a Heisman in the future. And it was Kareem Walker. Where's he at now?
He's at the University of Michigan.
There you go. You still believe that?
No.
Of course not.
I mean, why would I root for him when he's not even at Ohio State anymore? And he did drop in the recruiting rankings.
Yeah, so. Based on 1 week of, I'm not even.
He still dropped.
You're a hater.
He still dropped.
So we got a good show for you guys today. We're gonna discuss NCAA corruption and their hypocrisy, everything that is wrong with NCAA. We're going to get into some Johnny – I don't even know what to call him anymore. It's not Johnny Football anymore. Johnny Failball is Doug's new name for him. I'll just call him Johnny Manziel for now. And then we're going to talk about the U.S. men's national soccer team, which Doug is very excited about. Doug, how pumped are you for that one?
What sport is that again?
I believe you called them girls playing or kicking a ball in the backyard. Something like that. I can't.
Is it like the best sport in the world? It's like the one sport in the world.
They don't have football in the rest of the world, so sure.
You can't afford pads in third world countries. So.
No, they can't beat it. This might be an arrogant American, but they can't beat us in it, so they hate it. They can beat us in soccer, so they're all about soccer in the rest of the world.
Hey, if soccer is such a great thing, then why are they trying to get football in England? They're trying to replace it. Like, let's just get a real sport over here already. They see the
No. It's just about money. It's just the NFL wants to make money. That's what it's about. Get out of here with that. No. It's all about the NFL making money.
I will sit back and listen to your soccer tonight, and I will not criticize until the very end. I promise I will listen before passing judgment.
Hey, that's the best we could actually hope for, so that's awesome.
It is.
Doug being a team player tonight.
It is. I mean, if you could sit and listen through this and us talk soccer, then I will sit through listen to you talk hockey, because that's, hockey's just as
a man sport. Yeah.
I
don't have to talk for hockey because hockey talks for itself. Just saying. Did you watch that video that I shared with you?
I am not watching that nonsense.
He got his throat slashed by a hockey skate. I mean, come on.
Okay, and
that is
I can go to YouTube and find a whole bunch of incidents that happen in soccer.
Broken bones? Okay, broken bones happen when I fall off of a swing set when I'm 5 years old. Throat slash happens in horror movies and hockey games.
Are we really debating this right now? This is the dumbest debate ever.
Let's get on topic.
Let's get out of that topic. We are wound up tonight. We are fired up and ready to go. We'll get into the NCAA right now. This topic came up for me because of the recent Louisville event. What they did was wrong, obviously. Prostitutes for recruits for the basketball program. We can't have that in the recruiting or sports period. They should be punished.
That's in Kentucky, right? Louisville's in Kentucky?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine the ones they pull in like Miami or...
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm justifying it.
So the team actually gave themselves a postseason ban, but that's because if they didn't, the NCAA would have hammered them. The NCAA
should still come down on them.
I don't think so. Here's my problem with postseason bans. The kids who were there during this are not there anymore. This Louisville basketball program has 2 graduate transfers and came here for 1 more year, and they're a top 25 team. They were going to make the postseason, and now these 2 grad transfers have no chance of showcasing their talents in the big dance because of what happened before they even got there. I don't agree with the NCAA's punishing of teams with postseason bans because they usually hurt players who had nothing to do with it.
NCAA didn't punish them with it.
Louisville had to do this because the NCAA's recent sanction-happy self with Ohio State, with USC, they tried to hammer Miami in the most unjust way possible. If you're a college program and something like this happens, you have to bring the hammer down on yourself, otherwise NCAA is going to do it.
Okay, so bring the hammer down on yourself, but you can't say the NCAA was going to make that same decision.
They haven't even made a decision yet.
They might not have done a postseason ban. They might have just done something.
Stop it.
As far as
stop. We all know what the NCAA is. So here's a little history on the NCAA. The NCAA is a $12 billion organization. They stay tax-free because of their amateurism status, which is complete nonsense. According to their website, it was founded in 1906 to protect young people from the dangerous and exploitative athletic practices at the time. It was actually founded by President Roosevelt due to the public outcry to abolish football as a sport because it was too dangerous. And President Roosevelt wanted a committee established to improve player safety. So the same talk we're having now about player safety in football was happening 110 years ago. But
the average player in 1905 was probably around 200 pounds. Now you're getting players pushing 300, lifting 500, and faster than ever. Collisions are bigger, and you got padding and stuff now that didn't then. But I mean, I don't know. I know that they go overboard with sanctions, but I believe in the amateur status.
I don't. The NCAA was not founded on this arbitrary notion of amateurism. It was founded on player safety alone. That's it. This whole amateurism thing didn't start until 1956. This is when they established scholarships, because beforehand they were paying players. The Pitt football team, the underclassmen, actually went on strike because the upperclassmen were getting paid more than them. They gave scholarships to give the incentive, free room, free board, free education, and that's how it started. And Walter Byers, he is the founder of what the NCAA is today. His law firm coined the phrase student athlete that the NCAA hides behind.
So you think that on top of the, college average for some of these big schools, you're looking at $35,000 to $40,000 a year for some of the major schools? You don't think that's enough of a payment to these kids?
When Michigan's bringing in $170 million, when NCAA is bringing in $6 billion in TV contracts with ESPN for the playoff alone, if something was built on your talents and somebody was making billions of dollars off of you and you got $30,000, you'd be satisfied with that?
You and 71 other players are on this team. It was a 72-man roster, right?
No, college has 85 scholarships right now, and you have about 40 others who are walk-ons.
80 scholarship athletes. $35,000 a piece for some of these big schools. $40,000 for some of them. I would have to do the math and find out what it is. For 80 people. You don't think that's enough? You're there to play a sport, and they're giving you an education, and room and board for free. If I had to go back again and had to pay for it myself and had an opportunity of a scholarship of any kind, I'd be thankful that I even had anything.
Okay, Doug, you at the school, you're on scholarship, and you can still make money. You can still get a job. If an English major who's on scholarship for academics writes a book, he still gets paid. These guys can't even get paid for their own likeness. You can't even do stuff outside of the program and make $20. That's okay to you?
Yes, it is, because they're getting here's the thing. College is not about sports. It's about getting an education. They're paying you for to play the sport, and they're giving you a free education so that you can make the $70,000, $80,000 a year in the future, because most of these kids are not going to go into NFL. In any of these sports, you're not going to go into NBA, you're not going to go to Major League Baseball, you're not going to go into whatever. They're giving these kids an opportunity to work for the money they're making now to get the free education in order to make a future for themselves. that's the thing that drives me nuts about more than anything is the fact that they don't require these kids to finish a degree. I mean, some of them are awesome athletes and they're going to go somewhere eventually. Yes, I understand that. And it's probably better for them to start sooner than later in case of an injury. But there's other ones that are there for 4 years and they're going to keep playing those 4 years and they're going to get done, they're going to get their education, and they're going to go farther than Johnny Manziel, who takes his money, spends it on hookers, booze, and coke, and nothing to fall back on.
I've heard a coke rumor, but I haven't heard anything about hookers yet. Definitely alcohol.
Well, I don't care. I was giving an example, and you know that he has to use hookers. That's an ugly son of a bitch. So
He had a very attractive girlfriend. I don't know if you saw the draft or not.
well, yeah.
Johnny Manziel's coming up next. Stop it.
Anyway,
Hold on.
You're getting me off track.
My point is that they're giving these kids an education, a $35,000 a year education, so that when they're done, they can go and make money somewhere else.
All right, they're giving them an education?
Whether that's the NFL, whether it's Major League Baseball, or whether they become...
Are you sure they're giving them an education?
They should be. That's up to the student themselves.
Here's a story for you. The academic fraud at North Carolina. Players were given paper courses where they didn't have to attend class. They had to turn in the paper at the end of the semester. No one got below a B. But these are courses that are intended to keep the players eligible. So when the NCAA got wind of this, they found there was no wrongdoing, and they gave them nothing. No sanctions. Don't tell me academics is the key here. The famous phrase in college sports right now is C's get the degrees. It's more valuable for them to have C's in classes and touchdowns on the field to the NCAA and to the university than it is for them to get A's in the classroom and nothing on the field.
C's degrees is not limited to athletes in college. I hear that all the time.
You just said it's about the academics, though. We should be raising the bar for academics, then, huh?
Yes, we should, but a lot of that has to do with the school also. Was it the NCAA that gave them these paper courses, or was it...
No, but when the NCAA caught wind of it, they didn't do anything. But then they hammer OSU for guys selling their own property. I'm backing up OSU here, if you can believe it or not.
That's not their own property. That's the school property.
It's not no, they are given rings for bowl games, for championships. Those are theirs now. The gold pants for beating Michigan, that's their property. This is what they're selling. Their jerseys, they keep those at the end of the year. That's why everybody has them hung up on their walls. They sold their own property, and the NCAA ruled them as impermissible benefits. And they hammered OSU, who went on to have a 12-0 season, a perfect season, and couldn't play for anything. But UNC commits academic fraud. Nothing. NCAA doesn't say anything's wrong. This is not about academics. They don't care about academics.
Well, what do you think about when a coach or player leaves the university and then something like a Reggie Bush comes out later, or Calipari and Derrick Rose comes out later on, and the NCAA still burns the school? I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think they should follow the coach or the players that did it, or do you think that they should follow?
You can't anymore. They're in the pros. What are you going to do?
Team? I mean, Calipari's still in college, and look what he did when he was at Memphis, or, I mean, even at UMass. I mean, Marcus Campbell couldn't even play because he received money from his agent, and he still played. And Calipari knew about it, left, went to Memphis, knew back Derrick Rose, and somebody else took the SAT for him. And then as soon as something came about, they both left town. I mean, what are you saying on that? Should the NCAA still punish the school for a couple actions of some players that aren't even there anymore?
No, definitely not. Doug, I'd love to give you your take on that. What do you think?
If it's that big of a deal, if they're finding it like with the Reggie Bush thing, okay. Now, if the NCAA punishes the school, I think the school should be able to pursue charges against the person involved.
For what? Refund a scholarship, you think?
Fraud, some sort of fraud charges, and let the court decide what the equivalent of that would be.
Fraud?
He committed fraud.
For what?
Huh? Is it academic stuff or what?
No. For like getting benefits, like Reggie Bush, his parents got to stay in a house for free. You had guys getting money from agencies.
I just used Reggie Bush because that was one of the names that popped up. My thought though is that if anything like this comes up, then if the school is punished, then they should be able to pursue charges against the individuals involved. So if they're, getting houses and benefits and stuff from boosters and all that, then the school should be able to pursue that if they choose to. That's up to the school.
But it's okay for NCAA to postseason ban players who had nothing to do with it.
No, I didn't say the postseason ban was ever. I actually argued the postseason ban, saying that you are saying that's what they were going to do automatically. We don't know that, though. You don't know until it comes out, because look at the varying degree of punishment from sport to sport, from school to school, program to program. Look at the varying degrees of punishment. It's not always the same. It's not a level board.
You're right. NCAA can't even be consistent in that. They suck at that, too.
And I'm not disagreeing with you on that. What I'm saying is that until they make a judgment, Louisville made this decision to do a postseason ban. They made that decision. Now, whether it was because they already knew they were going to suck anyway and decided not to do anything about it, yeah, they're punishing players that had nothing to do with it. It's unfortunate. But at the same time, there's no indication as of right now that the NCAA was going to do anything like that. They might have, and more than likely they would have, yes. But you can't put blame on this situation.
I'm not blaming them for just this. I believe Louisville did this to prevent themselves from getting hammered harder by the NCAA. This is a collective 50 years of nonsense.
Then instead of just going with the Louisville thing, give us more. Don't just you lead with the Louisville thing.
The Louisville thing is what got me fired up about it. That's why I wanted this segment.
And I understand that. But give us, instead of blaming the NCAA for postseason bans in a case where Louisville made that decision, give me a case where the NCAA made that decision.
Ohio State.
And make your case on that.
I did that already.
I know, and I want you gave more information on Louisville than you gave on this.
How about SMU? When they gave them the NCAA equivalent of a death penalty, they're still not a good football program.
No, SMU is the worst thing that could ever happen to anyone, and that will never happen again. Like it can't.
How about Penn State, where players who had nothing to do with it, a coach did something disgusting. A head coach, I don't know if he covered it up. There's reports that he did tell the AD, but these players had nothing to do with it. They had 4-year bans.
The Penn State thing, which didn't that just get lifted though?
Yeah, after what, 3 years? So they cut him off a year?
So the Penn State thing, the postseason ban for that, but they allowed the players to transfer without having to sit out a year, which is good. But
that makes it okay?
The Penn State thing.
Oh my God!
Because what are they supposed to do, Zach? What are they supposed to be like? Hey, you know what? We know this happened. We're going to do our best to punish this school somehow when only one person committed. There's possible cover-ups. Like, how are they supposed to handle that? That is more of a criminal charge than a school thing. The NCAA should have just kept their nose out of that and let, criminal trial take place and cover that, which it did. Now, the postseason ban for them, I thought they handled the whole thing wrong. I have always been a fan of Joe Bob, personally. I think in his case, he did what he thought he was supposed to do by going to certain people and figured they would handle it. And if there's a cover-up, then yes, that's awful. The whole situation is a mess, and I don't even know what to think about Penn State most of the time anymore. And people that are Penn State fans that are still fans after that, like, good for you for hanging in there, but geez, where do you draw a line before you stop liking someone? It's a team loyalty. But the NCAA, what I'm saying is across the board, it's never a level playing field. I mean, look at what they do versus basketball versus football versus hockey versus the Duke lacrosse team. Look at, all these different things. There's never a consistent ruling in what they do. And the only reason I was making a case against you with this is because you brought up just Louisville, a punishment that they brought on themselves.
They didn't bring it on themselves. That's nonsense. It's not. They didn't bring this on themselves. Okay, they knew what was coming. Everybody knows what's coming.
They know that a punishment is coming, but they don't know what it is.
They know it's more severe than a postseason ban if they're going to postseason ban themselves. You usually set the bar low. You don't go right for the jugular on your own team unless you're expecting a big deal coming out. Multiple postseason bans, multiple scholarships lost.
That's like Michigan basketball and the Fab Five.
How long did it take for us to recover from that?
I mean, they, get themselves, postseason bans and
scholarship losses.
Yeah, and vacated the 5 seasons, and then, I mean, the Fab Five might as well not even been there. But that was all Michigan self-imposed because they knew what was coming from the NCAA, so they decided to put more on themselves. Because, I mean, if you self-impose, where
you're praying to God that they don't freaking lay the hammer down.
Yeah. And you're kind of rolling the dice with the NCAA. Yeah. I mean, if you self-impose, you don't know.
Their whole role in amateurism, man, is just garbage to me.
Yeah.
They don't care about education or keeping things through school. You know what they're afraid of? They're afraid of classifying players as employees because then they'll have to pay them workers' comp.
Yep.
When they get injured, you have to pay them workers' comp. So the biggest fear is this whole amateur thing started.
They're all afraid to lose money.
Yeah, the amateur rule allows NCAA to reap the benefits from the players without paying them. Go ahead, Doug.
The players benefit by either making it into the professional level of their sport, or they make it by getting an education, getting a degree, and using that to make a living for themselves. Everyone benefits somehow. Maybe not at the extreme level that the NCAA is benefiting, but everyone is still benefiting if they take advantage of what they're given.
You're right. Not everybody's making $1.7 million like Mark Emmert, the president of the NCAA.
But let's see, who's in the NFL that's making over $1.7 million?
We're not talking about the NFL. If I want to talk about the NFL, I want to make an NFL segment. I'm talking about the NCAA.
No, and I know we're talking about the NCAA, and I'm talking about the benefit that
you made the case that not everybody goes pro.
Not everyone, but there's other people that get education and make that amount of money or make money too. My point was, what I was saying is that everyone can benefit mutually from this. The NCAA gets their money, and these kids get an education. The ones that go pro get money and stuff like that. It's a mutual thing. Like, they are using each other to further themselves in one way or another. Not every student athlete is going to make it into the pro level. Not every one that graduates is going to make $1.7 million, but they are going to make money and they are going to survive. You have a better chance of getting a job if you have a degree.
That's a terrible argument. That's a terrible argument.
Why are you going to school?
Why am I going to school? Because I need to be a college coach. It's kind of required.
Okay. Which, if you weren't getting your school paid for right now,
like I wasn't when I first came out of high school. I took out loans. I did the loans. I'm still paying them back.
Okay. So right now you're going to school to become a coach someday, which, that's great. Now, if you don't go to school to become a coach, how do you become a coach?
At the college level?
Yeah. You don't.
You don't.
It's required of you to go to school.
Yeah.
It's required of you to get that education.
Correct.
So you are benefiting from your military experience, paying for your school, just like these athletes are benefiting.
But the Navy pays me.
To school
the Navy pays me as well. I get free school and I get paid. College football is a job. I don't want to hear anything else that it's not. It's a job. They're working from 4 to 10 every day.
I thought we was talking about the college players, not the coaches.
Hey, Zach, how much is your school?
Central Michigan.
How much is your paycheck? Rough estimate. How much do you think you make a year?
Navy E5 married is about $30,000.
About 30. Where you're living. Okay. So you're making.
This is a dumb argument.
Than they get
you
to
destroy
play
this
football.
argument.
You're making less than they get for their school paid for. Plus, you're getting your school paid for.
Yeah. So should they. They're working full-time jobs.
They're getting their school paid for.
Yeah, I'm getting that plus. 30 grand. They should at least get a stipend of a certain amount of money. They should be allowed to sell their own likeness to make money. They should be able to sign autographs and make money.
Hey, Doug, let me ask you a question. If you were a star from Michigan and you looked up in the stands and you seen a whole bunch of fans with your jersey number on it, would you want to get some sort of money from that since everybody is supporting you and buying jerseys with your number on it? Granted, your name isn't on it, but it's your number.
Here's my reasoning. Because you know what? If I am on the field and I look up at the stands and there's a bunch of people wearing my number, then I'm more for the pride and the glory of being there, of being a part of that.
It's so easy for you to say that.
Yeah, but let's say next to last game you suffer a injury, let's say to your leg, and then your NFL career is done. Wouldn't you want to see some money come in from those jerseys since you know your NFL career is done? Or
that's why I'm there to get an education.
Okay, answer me this then. Why are scholarships 1 year renewable then?
Because they don't make it necessary for kids to finish school. I think they should. I think everyone
That's not the reason at all.
College,
They're 1 year renewable so people can cut them if they're not performing on the field. Doesn't matter what you're doing in the classroom. If you're not performing on the field, they'll cut you. They'll take your scholarship away. It's not about school. It's about football. It's about basketball.
And I'm saying that, yes, these kids are getting their scholarships, and yes, they do have the chance for an income. But 1 year of school is still $35,000, $40,000 a year paid for. You're paying student loans from when you were 18 years old. You're 25 now. If you were in the military, you'd be paying a lot longer. My ex is still paying college loans, and she graduated in 2004. She's still paying college loans. I just finished paying college loans at 34 years old for something I did when I was 19. So I'm 34 now. I was paying from the time I was 19 until now. And if I went to school for years, I would still be paying. And these kids have an opportunity for 1 year paid, 2 years paid, 4 years paid.
I'll just say I disagree with you. I think these guys should get paid more. I think they should be able to get money for. You obviously disagree. That's fine. We're all entitled to opinions.
Hey, Zach, let me ask you a question. Should a player like, I don't know, let's say Braxton Miller get paid the same amount as someone who rides the pine for 3-4 years?
Yeah, I think you should have a set. I think you should have a set stipend, because then you're talking about salary cap, and then you're talking about teams actually having an advantage.
So then, what about like lower sports then, like golf or water polo? Or
I think they should. I think they should collectively bring in like the collective money that every sport brings into the university should be divvied out, and that should be your stipend.
But then those schools have an advantage.
They have an advantage already. The Big House is an advantage. The Horseshoe is an advantage. You not realize that the fact that we have the commercialization of Michigan, of Ohio State, is an advantage? That's an advantage. That's why we get the best recruits.
I see where Doug's coming from right now, because if depends on the school, then a recruit is more likely to go to a school that can pay him more.
Okay, then set the stipend at the lowest level, the lowest income team. What their stipend is, stipend across the board.
That would be.
You're talking about like $2,000 a player. Is that really that bad? So they can have some food?
If they were doing that, then that would be acceptable. Yes, I would. If they took the lowest income school, and factor in like we have a cost of living, in each area, and make them go off that. But at the same time, you can't give them free room and board and that, and expect them to use it you can't expect all of them to use it in an intelligent way. Let's just say that. Some of them will be smart with their money. Some of them might save it, invest it, whatever. But you can't trust everyone to make decent decisions when you give a bunch of college athletes who have access to pretty much anything they want to act in a manner that, would not get them punished by the NCAA. So instead of Louisville paying for their hookers, they're giving these kids money to go out and buy their own.
You take the worst out of everything. We've got to wrap this up pretty quick, but I just want to give you guys a couple more examples of how ridiculous these rules are. In 2013, Oklahoma reported violations because 3 players ate more pasta than they were allowed at a graduation ceremony. They had to pay $3.83 to a charity to cover the cost of the meal in order to be reinstated. $3.83. You're a $12 billion organization. You're killing these kids over $3 worth of pasta.
Yeah, and here we are talking about them paying players.
Screw you. Mississippi State had recruiting violations for having stickers on packets for recruits. South Carolina gave impermissible iced decorations on cookies for recruits. They had icing on cookies. Recruiting violation. The NCAA rulebook is 432 pages long, guys. And they can change any rule they want whenever they want. They can add new rules without any supervision, without any vote from the universities, from the ADs, from the coaches, from the players. And they define what amateurism is. They have all the power. They are judge, jury, and executioner, and they have no one overseeing them. They're disgusting, and I hate them. If I'm a Power 5 school right now, guys, you know what I'm doing? I'm getting together with other Power 5 schools, and I'm leaving the NCAA. If I'm a self-sufficient program, I would leave the NCAA right now. And if I'm a high school prospect, a top-notch high school prospect, I'm going to Canada for football and Europe for basketball. I'm playing pro for 3 years or 1 year for basketball, and I'm dropping my name in the draft.
But they won't. You know why? Money. They make money. ADs make money. Top head coaches make money. It's all about money. They don't.
I know.
They don't look at it in the way over something about some pasta.
Because they don't care about the players.
No.
I'll end this segment with this. This was from Walter Byers. He is the founder of what the NCAA is today. He coined the phrase student athlete to get the NCAA out of jams. This is a few years after his retirement. He said, a disservice to these young people that the management of intercollegiate athletics live on an outdated code of amateurism from 1956. It doesn't take a great genius to realize that what was true in 1956 can hardly be remembered from the gross commercial culture today. And I contribute to that to the neo-plantation mentality that exists in the NCAA, that the rewards belong to the overseers, the supervisors. The coach owns the player's feet, school owns his body, and what trickles down after that can go to the athlete. All this is not fair, and I predict that the amateur code, now based on a foregone philosophy and held in place for economic purposes, will not long stand the test of the law. That's the guy who made this up in 1956, crushing it a few years after he retired. We had some couple Facebook comments. Why don't we go ahead and Morgan, you?
Yeah.
Are saying.
Yeah. During our last episode 1, we talked about All-Star Weekend, which, by the way, Will Barton's on tonight, so
he should be dunking right now. Do we have a final on that?
I don't know.
My secondary computer froze.
I'll look into that. We threw out the question: pick one All-Star Weekend festivities from any sport and tell us what you would do to fix it. So Chris Ratt commented.
And he Michigan man too.
Yes, he is.
Go Blue.
You guys like to, you guys like to gang up on me. He put out there, I think I should adopt what the MLB has done and make the result mean something. This is the best of the best playing a single game together. It kills me to watch most of them half-ass it. Zach, I know we talked about this and you said you wanted to get into it, so I'll let you have
that's idiotic. That's dumb. That's idiotic. You're going to have an all-star game decide. I think what MLB does is dumb. It's dumb. You have an all-star game decide
field advantage
for home field advantage in the World Series.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that be decided on the field of play?
Yeah, I mean, you could have an American League team have a better record than the National League team, but National League team gets home field advantage because a couple pitchers are better than the National League.
Exactly. We can't have that. No. I disagree with you, Chris. Go Blue, man, but that was no. Doug, what do you think?
I don't know. Everyone runs their All-Star games differently, and I don't know if any of them are 100% correct. I mean, in a lot of cases, it's why even have them anymore? I mean, yeah, go Barton. I hope you win so that we can get some jerseys out here. But I mean, without this recognition, would anyone even know who he is at this point? And then with the Pro Bowl being, what it is, and you've got more players turning it down than actually wanting to be there. It's all same as it is in any other thing. It's all about generating some income one way or another. Someone's going to make money off of something, and there's no right way, there's no wrong way, because some people like everything that's going on. So there's got to be some middle ground somewhere that they'll discover someday, but at the same time, maybe not.
I told you guys how to enjoy this. I told you already. Just shut up and watch it. Shut up.
Just to point out a few things. Can you guys take a guess who won the 3-point contest?
Steph Curry?
Nope.
Klay Thompson?
Yep.
Did he really?
Yes, he did. And take a guess who won the skills challenge.
Not one of the big guys.
No, actually, Carl Anthony Towns won the skills challenge.
Did he really?
Yes,
And
he
you were
did.
talking,
Yes,
you were talking
yes,
trash about these big guys being.
I was. Yes, I was.
Suck it,
I, you know what? Carl Anthony Towns made me eat my words. I thought it was a joke to have 6'10", 6'11" guys in there, but they proved that they can handle it just as good as a point guard. Apparently, good on them. I haven't watched the highlights yet. I'll be anxious to watch the highlights and see what happened.
Dunk still going on?
I think the 3-point just ended. I'm about to get it up right now, but it just came across the screen that Klay Thompson won 3-point and Anthony Towns won the skills challenge. I'm 0 for 2.
Shocker.
Well, back to our segment, Facebook answering questions. My good buddy Ramon Quinones threw out there that Michael Jackson had the best halftime show.
I'm not even going to argue with him because
Is that the one that he set his hair on fire?
dude, I was 5 years old when that happened. I don't know. I told you that.
We have to Google it.
I don't want to Google that. Here's why I can't argue with it. I don't even like Michael Jackson music. I'm biased to begin with. I don't like it at all. Bruno Mars for me. Best halftime show ever. Q. Don't care.
I was 5. Michael Jackson came out and did it. Michael Jackson is obviously the king of pop.
Who said that?
I listen to Michael Jackson. I got buddies that are huge fans of him. We can debate who had the best halftime show all we want. Day and age.
If one of us doesn't like one of the guys, it's a mute debate.
Yeah, I've seen stuff. I've seen stuff on Facebook like had a picture of Coldplay, Bruno Mars, and Beyonce, and said this is why I listen to heavy metal. I don't listen to heavy metal, so it just depends on who you are. Is what you like. I mean, if they brought out Five Finger Death Punch, you would have people who are who like rap be complaining about heavy metal group coming out there. So you can't please everybody. You can't make everybody happy.
Whatever. Halftime shows. I'm just wasting my time.
I mean, unless you got Bruno Mars and Katy Perry.
We should get them together. There we go. Good music. Something good to look at.
We can start a hashtag for next year.
If only you can make good music and have boobs, that'd be great.
What else we got, man?
Q also threw out there. He said also the Beyonce thing, they're paying tribute to Black Panthers and Michael Jackson.
Guess what, Q? I don't care. Morgan has a big reaction to what happened after this. I don't care. I don't get offended that easy. This reaction is dumb.
Doug, you got anything to say before I go on?
He's going to rant, so if you got anything to say, you might as well get it in now.
Yeah, I got one thing. Hold on, ready?
Oh, gosh.
That's my response.
Is that a beer?
Yes, it was.
So here's my take on this whole Beyonce thing. Over the last couple of days, on social media, you have everybody bashing Beyonce and what she did, dressing up, having her dancer dress up like the Black Panthers. You had her picture at the end of it. Now, me personally, I don't care. I don't care at all. My thing is, Beyonce, if you want to do that, do it at your own concert, not somewhere with 114.4 million people are watching.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I disagree with you there because
Okay.
that's the biggest stage you could do it at for a social issue.
Yeah, it is. But here's why. Here's why I have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with her doing it. That's her thing. But race is a big issue already in this world. There's so much hate in this world. People are just cruel to each other. Me personally, and along with other sports fans, watch sports to get away from the hate in the world, the cruel in the world, all the negativity in the world. You watch sports, it brings you together. Whether it's one person, white, black, green, blue, whoever is a Michigan fan, the other is an Ohio State fan, they can go back and forth on sports. Color never comes out. You're debating sports. Sports brings people together. Now, I watched a video the other day. This woman named Tommy Lorenz came out there and had this huge Beyonce rant, just a huge rant, and she kind of took away some of the stuff that I wanted to say. But sports brings people together. It doesn't matter what color you are. You're watching sports for entertainment. You're watching sports to root your team on. I don't want anything involving race to get thrown in my face while I'm trying to enjoy the Super Bowl, the NFL playoffs. It doesn't matter what sport it is. I don't want that thrown in my face. If I want to see it, I'll hop on social media. I will hop on CNN, Fox News, whatever these are. And like I said, I don't have a problem with Beyonce wanting to do that, but do it at your own concert. To the people throwing out the Confederate flag, that's a joke. Stop it. Stop. Just stop. Kid Rock, Leonard Skinner has Confederate flags at their concerts. If Beyonce want to do that at her concert, then so be it. But stop throwing a Confederate flag out there. This should be a time and age where we should be teaching our younger generation to not hate one another based on color. Me personally, my 7-year-old daughter doesn't know color. She learned in school recently about Martin Luther King. And she came home and said, I don't understand why white people treated them so bad from back in the day. She said that was just horrible. I'm like, I know, baby, but that's the way the world was. You know what? This should be a time where people come together. We should be trying to fix something. We should be looking out for each other. This is our America. This is our world that we're trying to leave behind for our kids. So just stop with the Confederate flag, throwing it out there. This, that, and a third. Now I can go into facts, get facts about Black Panther, get facts about the Confederate flag. People are still gonna disagree. If you agree, disagree, I don't care what your point is. But my point is, I don't want to see that during my sports when that's my getaway from all the hate in the world. We can talk about Cam Newton and his post-game rant, but that's just a post-game rant. That's not really a big issue that's going on in the world. So I have a problem with Beyonce doing that at the Super Bowl halftime. I don't have a problem with doing it at her own concert because that's what she wants to do. It's her right. It's her freedom. But I don't want to see that while I'm trying to watch the Super Bowl and we have different colors, different races, different backgrounds trying to enjoy this. And then you throw this out there that segregates people once again. That's just my rant. I think we should love each other more and ignore the hate, ignore the racism, ignore the negativity. But that's just my rant. What'd that say?
You win.
No, that's just.
I don't care, dude. This.
Me and you talked about this off air, and you knew I was mad about it. Because that's not the world I want to leave for my daughter when she gets older. She isn't going to know color. She's going to know what's on the inside, not the outside.
Let's move on to another topic that I hate that I didn't even want to bring up. I didn't want to waste time on this guy. Johnny Manziel has been back in the news again. What do you think, Doug?
Oh, where do I begin? Okay, clearly, Johnny Manziel is up there in the draft bust status with the likes of Ryan Leaf.
You put him in Ryan Leaf category.
I'm putting him in a close second, and depending on what he does in the next couple months, it could even climb into first place. I mean, this guy, there's no doubt that he had talent. No doubt. I mean, my first moment of hating him is when he did the money symbol for the first time. When he, I don't even know what he did. He just put his hands up and rubbed his fingers together like, I want to get paid. That's all it was about. And then he gets to the NFL. This guy is more popular than people that actually contribute to the teams. I mean, he is in the news more than the Kardashians and Miley Cyrus. He draws in the media, and there's no reason other than the fact that he is just a mess. But at the same time, as much as I hate Johnny Manziel and what he is doing and the talent that he is wasting, I feel sorry for him. He is fighting a disease, and he's losing. Whether the drug stuff is real, he has an addiction problem to either drugs or we know he has one to alcohol. His lifestyle is self-destructive, and he's taking the talents that he has and wasting them. Granted, as far as I know, Cleveland, Ohio sucks the souls out of people and turns them into just this miserable mass, probably because it's Ohio. But as much as you want to hate the guy, and as much as you don't like him, what he's dealing with is real, and it's sad to see someone spiral so fast, so hard, so badly that he hasn't hit bottom yet. He's going to, and it's going to be sad. his dad came out and said, I don't think he'll live to see his 24th birthday. Can you imagine if someone had told you, I don't think you're going to live to your 27th birthday because of the lifestyle you choose to live? I mean, wouldn't that be enough to make you want to do something?
Yeah,
change that?
We both had pretty outlandish lifestyles for a while there, but no one ever said, I don't see you living till your next birthday. We never got to that level.
But if a loved one said that to you, I know your mom, if she looked at you and said that, I know you would take that. And he's so far down right now that his own father can say that to him, and he says he's not going to fix it. And it's a sad case. And as much as I dislike Johnny Manziel and everything he represents, I hope the kid turns it around and does something with his life. I hope he makes me, eat my words for not liking him, for what he is. Hopefully someday he will turn himself around and become the athlete, the star that he is for the right reason. It's just a sad thing. And I call him Johnny Failball because
in a football way, he's failed.
In a football way, he has failed. In a life way, the bigger reason, in a life way, he has failed. And that's what's sad about it. The kid has talent. He could go somewhere and do well. And the only way he's going to do that is if he turns his life around and fixes himself. And, it's a sad case. And you look at some of the other big names that they're coming out of college and their lives spiraled out of control and they become the bust. I mean, you look at Brian Leaf. I think last I heard he was in prison, and Charles Rogers was drafted by the Lions, had all kinds of drug issues, gone. And Titus Young, drug issues, alcohol issues, gone. These guys just have the money, have the access, have the fame that comes with being a player, and it goes to their heads, and no one was able to get through to them and stop them. And it's just a sad case. And like I said, as much as I hate Johnny Manziel and everything that he was, he's an athlete. He's very, very skilled. And if he could turn his life around, I think we would see something amazing on the field. I thought about this one when I suggested it the other day, and I wanted to just tear into him for everything that he is, but then I looked at what he's going through and what I personally have battled with my addiction problems, and I think I softened up a little bit, and now I just feel bad for the guy, and I hope he can fix himself, and even if he doesn't get on the field again, I hope he can get his life in order, and we can go from there, So good luck to you, Johnny. You're probably not listening, but Will Martin is, so maybe he'll pass it along to you.
First off, before I get into Johnny, appreciate you talking about that, Doug. I know he's got a little sensitivity to this issue. Sonny, you have a little bit more sympathy for him. But I don't have much on Johnny Failball, except obviously it's much more than football. He was not good to begin with. I mean, he's better than me because he's got the NFL, but NFL talent, he's done for. So, but now he just needs to work on himself. He needs to get himself right. He needs to listen to his parents or his dad, check into rehab, and kind of get a fresh new start, almost like a clean slate, and then see where that goes. Just get clean, get yourself right, and then give Jerry Jones a call.
Coming out of college, he had warning signs. I'm just wondering, was there nobody there to stop him back then? Was Texas A&M not watching out for him? What was going on that it's allowed this to spiral this out of control? This guy needs to get his life together. He needs help.
Even if the college was looking out for him, it's a life choice, and
it really is.
One, and unfortunate that someone with those skills has to go through something like this before, and he might never recover from such a horrible impact on his career. And
I really wonder if he will, because he's come out multiple times and said, "Oh, I realized my mistakes. I'm going to change." He went to rehab for 2 months, came out, said all the same things, and just jumps right back into it.
Right, and that's part of it. I mean, it is an addiction, and it is a problem, and it doesn't work for everyone. Once you live that lifestyle, and even if you go through the treatment, there's no guarantee that you're going to be an angel the rest of your life. It's not that cut and dry, and unfortunately for him, in a high-profile life that he leads as an NFL backup quarterback. There's more temptation in his life than any of us will ever experience, probably. I mean, it just access with the money that he has, and it's unfortunate to see talents wasted. I mean, that's why I, put him in the Ryan Leaf category, because there was talent in these guys. I mean, they were there for a reason, and unfortunately, their lifestyles and their decisions, personal decisions, whether they had someone back that had someone to support them or not, it's something that even with support doesn't always work. And with his dad saying, "I don't think he'll live to see his 24th birthday," I mean, that's sad for anyone. And as much as I dislike the guy for what he represents as far as his sport goes, I never fault a guy for his personal choices. It's unfortunate, and that's part of his life. And hopefully something changes, and he comes back, and he might not be a success in the NFL, but hopefully he can change himself and get out there and be a advocate for things like this, and go to the rookie symposium and talk to these kids about the things they're going to deal with and their temptations, and be a role model for something like that. Or go back to Texas and talk to kids and be like, "Listen, this is what I did. This is where you can change and not make those choices." Even if he never touches a ball again, you never want someone's life to be as bad as it has gotten for him. And it's unfortunate, and it's sad. And like I said, I originally suggested this topic based on the fact that I just wanted to tear into him. But then I sat down and thought about it, like, what is he going through? What is his family going through? And it can't be negative towards him as a person, because I know he's struggling and he's probably hurting, and that just leads him to do the same thing, because he doesn't feel like there's another option at this point.
Yeah, we could have gotten here, and it would be easy to rip him. We could have done that easy.
Hold on. I do want to say one thing. This is my last point that I want to make for him. If it is true about what came out about him assaulting with his girlfriend, if that does come out true and everything, that's just sick. That's the Greg Hardy, Ray Rice category.
Yeah, he needs to get some serious jail time.
Yeah, I feel for him, with his addiction and everything, but assaulting women is a whole nother. That's a whole other thing.
I'm not advocating that at all.
No.
But at the same time, if that stems from, if he is a aggressive, angry alcoholic, stuff like that, I mean, if he can get the help he needs to battle that, then he can get the help he needs, or that might be help enough to make him realize his mistakes. And I mean, there's no reason to ever hit a woman at all. If the allegations are true, then it's unfortunate. I mean, it's just one more thing that's going to pile on him to make the situation he's already in worse, and which can cause him to, drink more or whatever he needs to do. And it's a never-ending cycle with an addiction. I mean, one thing goes wrong, and you have to drink. And then the fact that people are upset with you for drinking makes you upset, so you have to drink. And then it just continues to go. So he needs to get the help that people are offering him. He needs to change his life. And if he doesn't need to come back to football, he can use this as a way to change his lifestyle and to become a better person and basically save himself, because it's unfortunate. When Zach asked me for a topic and I brought up Johnny Manziel, I wanted to tear into him. And then I was driving home that night and I heard the story about his dad, saying he's not going to live to see his 24th birthday. And it affected me a lot with some of my struggles, and it made me think a lot about it. And there's no reason to pile on to this guy at this point. He knows, I guarantee he knows what he's done, and that he is who he is and how people view him, and it can't be easy to try and recover from something like that. And so let's talk about soccer.
Yeah, let's move on from that one. It's a little slam dunk update. Apparently, the GOP debate is more entertaining than this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
The GOP debate is more entertaining than what?
The slam dunk contest. I'm following Twitter right now. Apparently.
Actually, I don't even see it up here. It's GOP, Clay, Kevin Hart, All-Star Weekend, Walk the Moon, Brook Love.
And Twitter's
Devin Booker is trending. I did rip him for being a three-point contest, and he finished third with 16. Clay Thompson had 27, but hey, neither here nor there. It doesn't matter because Will Barton will make me eat my words. Watch.
This is you on your.
You suck.
That's you. Every single prediction you've made. So let's move on to the U.S. men's national soccer team. We'll keep you updated on Will Barton. He's going to win. Yeah. Morgan, this is your area of expertise. I am a new fan. Doug isn't a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a new fan. Watch your mouth.
I said I'm a new fan. I said Doug's not a fan.
Oh, I thought you said I'm a new fan.
Drink more beer. Drink more beer.
You know what, though? You know what? I will say that I am a huge fan of Hope Solo.
Of course you are, for different reasons.
Oh, yes. Hashtag Hope Solo call me.
Mainly because
Please?
of leaked photos on Google.
I'll take Alex Morgan. I'm done. Forget Hope Solo.
No,
Alex Morgan all day.
No.
You can call me.
I have a passion for goalies. Seeing how I was a keeper, seeing her in those.
No one cares.
Well, well, apparently we do because we're going to talk soccer. We talk about the women's team. Yeah, go ahead. I want to touch on the men's national team. I know a lot of people. I forget what the number was, but I know the fan base kind of increased. Zach, you were a part of that, especially from like the 2004 World Cup, 2008 World Cup, or not 2008, but 2002. But just a little update on the national team. They actually played a game the other day. 1-0 win over Canada. And as I'm watching this, as this stat comes up, 21 of the 24 players that was in that game plays in the MLS. That's unheard of for Jurgen Klinsmann to have that many MLS players. Seeing as how he bashes the MLS, which he has every right to, because MLS is just not a top Premier League or a top league. For instance, not to get off topic from the national team, but Arsenal is coming here to play the MLS All-Stars. We have a Premier League team coming down here to play your All-Stars in your league. That should say something. But 21 of the 24 players played in MLS. 2 of those players weren't even really with the team. They just got let go from their team. So then I got to looking at past World Cups, past Olympics, 2014 World Cup. 14 out of 23 players played elsewhere, somewhere other than the MLS, and they had pretty good run. They should have beat Belgium. That was a heartbreaking loss. A lot of young, promising talent like Julian Green coming off the bench, helping out. But that just goes to show you that the talent, that the American League, like the MLS has. You have players coming over from other countries, coming here to add on 3, 4, 5 years to their life, like a David Beckham and Henry from Arsenal.
Steven Gerrard from
Liverpool. Gerrard. But just those top level players coming over here, just add on live. But I started digging into the Olympics because that's kind of where it started, because the Olympics now is the U23. So that's your youth. Starting in 2000, they had a 4th place finish. 2008, they didn't go past the group stage. The winner for that year was Argentina. They had Di Maria, Aguilera, and Messi. Those are like 3 top names for Argentina now. 2012, the men's U23 team didn't even qualify. They had 1 player from that 2012 team that's on the men's national team now. A team that won for that year was Mexico. Mexico over Brazil. Brazil had like 5 guys, that's including Hulk and Neymar, on that U23 team. And Mexico had 8 total players that now play on the national team, on that U23 team. So my point is, the development sucks here in the U.S. for the men's national team. That's why players go to other countries like the Premier League, like Spain, and all these other countries, and the Bundesliga is a big one. That's why they go to these other countries to build the talent up. That's why your head coach demands you to go to other countries to boost your talent, to play against better talent. I don't know what the future holds for the men's national team. They got a lot of players getting old. Dempsey's getting up there. Outdoors getting up there. You don't know what's going to happen with Tim Howard. Yeah, their defense has always been questionable. But that 1-0 win over Canada, man, it just really got me thinking. Just like watching them play, and all but 3 of those players, and 2 of them previously played in the MLS. So pretty much 23 of the 24 players playing MLS, and they squeak out a win over Canada. Granted, it was a friendly, but you should come out better than that over Canada. I hope I'm wrong, which I've been so far with my thoughts and my predictions. But I think we're going to take a step back. I think we had our chances in 2012, the 2012 World Cup. A big one was the 2002 World Cup. So from 2002 to where we are now, it's been building up and building up and building up. But I don't see much of a future unless players like Julian Green step up, unless a player like Jordan Morris, the kid at Stanford, who has a promising career, if he can step up. But man, the first thing that comes to mind is Freddie Adu. Here in America, we're so anxious to get that Neymar, get that Messi, get that Ronaldo, get those top players to come from America. And once we finally have a player like Freddie Adu, we blow him up so much that where is he now? He's nowhere.
He's signed with somebody.
He's done though, man.
He's been done.
Come on. Yeah. So that's why it's like America is so anxious to get that player. Then once we finally think we have that player, we ruin it. We just ruin it. But I'm anxious to see how the Olympic qualifying goes. I'll be tuning in pretty close to see how the young kids do, because that's the generation for the men's national team. I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see what the future is for the national team. Like I said, you guys.
This question though.
Yeah.
Do you think it's more beneficial for us to have our best young players go overseas rather than try to build up the MLS, which a lot of older players came back to do?
It depends what you're looking at. If you want to build up the MLS now, then keep them here, then go right ahead. But it's not going to make them better for the national team.
So you think that would hurt our national team?
Yeah. Oh.
So MLS and our national team they're butting heads right now because of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, Jurgen Klinsmann came out and said that he wants his players to go overseas and play. He pretty much bashed the MLS. I mean, your head coach is bashing the MLS. Until they get to that point. But you're right. Do you keep those players here in America and try and build it up, or do you send those players over to other countries, over to Europe and over to Germany to play and build those players up for the national team? Do you want the red, white, and blue to have deep runs in the World Cups, or do you want the MLS to always be third, fourth?
Here's what the MLS has to do if that's gonna be possible. They have to get better youth coaches for MLS teams. You know how every Europe team has their juniors, and they all have great youth coaches that build them up. We have to start stealing. Forget their older players. We got to start stealing their older coaches to come over here and start. And when our MLS teams have to have youth programs that the kids don't have to pay for, that's what they have right now. You got to pay. You got to play juniors for an MLS team.
Even coaching, because I coach a lot of soccer. I coach and train youth soccer, and there's a ton of talent here where I coach at, but you don't have good coaches. You don't have good people to train them, or you got people training them, coaching them to do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So when they get up to the high school level, they have no idea how to even do a sub properly. They can't do basic stuff. So it does start at the youth. It starts with the younger kids, and we have to build those younger kids up. We have to keep those younger kids in soccer to help them grow the sport of soccer. But as far as MLS, I don't know. It won't never be, NFL football, NBA basketball. I think it could be, in par with the MLB, because the way the world is now, MLB isn't exciting anymore to people. It's a slow sport, and I don't think there's nothing you can do about that, just because the society as a whole, we're impatient people.
That's true.
But as far as soccer and the MLS, I don't know. It depends. It just, do you want the MLS to be one of the top leagues in the country, but take 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Or do you want the national team to compete with Argentina and Germany and the Belgiums and the Netherlands and Mexico and those types of countries? So as a soccer fan, I would rather see the national team.
No. MLS, man.
Be great. No, because
I have an actual soccer question.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Why is it that the women's national team, U.S. national team, is higher or is better, I guess, is better than the men's national team when they don't have the, other leagues to compete in? What makes them more competitive in this than the men's team?
Well, the women's team, they do actually have something similar to like the MLS here, and a lot of players from other countries come over here to play. I don't know why. I mean, obviously, men and women are different.
I think
a lot more women. Go ahead.
I think that it's just women don't have as many big time sports to play in. Like soccer is right now one of the biggest for women.
Yeah,
it is.
That's what I'm saying. Like these girls go right from college to the national team where soccer has all these other leagues that they can develop in. Is women's soccer in the U.S. more competitive in general than men's soccer is?
At the youth level, no, because I see a ton of talent here between the men and the boys. I mean, we do, a lot of co-ed here too to kind of get the younger boys and girls playing together. As they get older, like Zach said, that's kind of the one thing female athletes have. I mean, golf and WNBA, but the national team. I mean, when you think of soccer, the first thing a lot of people think of is the women's national team.
I think college when you start seeing the big disparity between talent between women and men in soccer.
And it's just body types too. I mean, the women's game is so much different than the men's game. I mean, if you had the women's play the men's team will win. I mean, not saying anything bad, against the women's team, men against women. That's why, women don't play in the NBA. That's why women don't play in the NFL.
Go ahead, ladies. Rip him apart.
Yeah, well, no. I'm not. No, because
tear
my daughter is going to be because my daughter is going to be an amazing soccer player. But it's just, if you want to try and, go up against the offensive lineman in the NFL, then go right ahead. And then, I'll be there watching you. I'm not going to stop you, but there is just a difference.
So is it just the fact that the men's soccer players have more options as far as where they can go to develop, where the women have high school, junior, like middle school stuff, and then high school and then college and then right into that, and it's even across the board at that point, where men have, their high school, college, junior leagues, all these developmental leagues, and then the professional level.
College acts as a junior league here for MLS teams. They have a draft and everything. They draft college players. That's kind of like our junior league. And over in Europe, they have what's called under 21 teams for each big club has these.
But do they have them for women?
Yeah, overseas they do.
Yeah.
Here the men and the women are saying no. Here they just play college ball. Both sides play college ball.
Yeah, like for instance, like Arsenal. Our favorite team. Arsenal has a women's team. That's pretty good too.
Mm-hmm. And they have the same thing. They sign them at like 15 and put them in these programs.
Yeah, and they build them up. Yeah, that's kind of what the men's team does here. They sign them young. For instance, Freddie Adu, coming on the national team at the age 13, 14.
That was bad.
I mean, Alex Morgan is coming on at 13 or 14. Hope Sullivan is coming on at 13 or 14. Just the development program, which is actually a good point, but the development program is just stronger in the men's category, but the female team's twice as good as far as, winning the World Cups, winning the Olympics. But no, it's back to our original statement. I don't want the MLS to. I would rather USA players go over to Europe and play.
I want to have a bigger league, man. I want to be able to watch big time football.
You can when David Beckham comes over here to add on 5 more years. So
I don't want to have to wake up at 6 a.m. every day or every Sunday to watch soccer or Saturday.
True.
Which we'll be doing tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. Arsenal.
Leicester City.
Leicester City. James Vardy, we got to stop him.
You know what I'll be doing at 6 a.m.?
Sleeping?
Yes, I'll be sleeping like a normal person.
Whatever.
I'll be up watching it for hopefully it's over in time before I gotta get ready to leave. We have another exciting adoption event to go to tomorrow. Hopefully our dogs get adopted.
There is only one thing that I will wake up that early to watch, and
the Masters.
I did it for an entire year in Japan. I woke up or stayed up till 4:30 in the morning to watch Michigan football.
And I was right there with them. Even when I had watch, he would come over to where I was on watch at. We had a TV in front. And we watched it there. Dedicated. Dedicated. All right. We're going to go ahead and finish up with our Why We Love Sports. I'll start us off this time. We'll let somebody else finish up the show. My Why We Love Sports comes from Canada, the land up north. Calgary Hitmen hockey team. They're a junior hockey team. Every year they have this teddy bear throw game right before Christmas.
Oh, that's a good game.
Oh, no. I mean, it's like they have a game where all the fans bring like teddy bear stuffed animals for kids. You're ridiculous. You're killing this. So they've been doing this for 21 years now, and this year, this happened back in December 6th, of 2015. They ended up getting 28,815 toys, all thrown onto the ice during this one game. That was 9,500 more toys than there were people in the stands. And what they do is they donate these toys to 50 Canadian charities that distributed toys to kids in need during Christmas time. I thought that was really cool. There's actually a really cool video. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to post it on our Facebook and Twitter after the show so you guys can take a look. It's just one of those great things. This is a junior hockey team, too, doing great things for the community in the great land of Canada.
Why are they even a country? Anyway.
Great hockey.
They do have great hockey and bacon. No, I've seen that. I've seen that team and their charities that they do, and it's impressive. And I know a lot of semi-pro teams in the U.S. have adopted that tradition. They might not get as much, but they started a trend, and I appreciate that. It's pretty amazing.
Heck yeah, almost 29,000 toys on one day. They set the record. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they started it and they made it into a thing, and other teams have adopted it, but they're still going to be the best at it. So that's another reason to love hockey.
Heck yeah.
All right. Mine. I was trying to get some slam dunk contest updates for you guys. By the way, Will Barton is not in the final. It's Zach Levine and Aaron Gordon.
I call BS. This is nonsense.
In case you're wondering. So,
Boycott
sorry,
the
no
NBA.
apology for Will Barton. I got something right.
Racism on this one.
Racism. Boycott the NBA. It's nonsense.
Let's not go there. We're trying to gain listeners here.
Okay.
We love everybody equally.
Will Barton more.
But my Wilo Sports is I was watching my Dayton Flyers play Duquesne the other night, which was a close game. And at, I believe it was halftime, they did this piece on a Duquesne player, Derek Coulter is his name. And he actually got diagnosed with cancer, I believe it was last year. And just a long story short, he had his battle with cancer, did his radiations, chemo treatments. And now he's back on the court. He got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphomia. Yeah, lymphomia, not lymphomia. Sorry, it's like 11 o'clock here. I'm ready for bed. But to me, that's just amazing. That one kind of comes close to me because my dad actually just had esophagus cancer. He got diagnosed last year and had a big treatment, or a big surgery. He had radiation, chemo, and all that. Then he had a big surgery. They took out a big chunk of his stomach. To where now he's finally 100% clear to have one final surgery ironically, up at Michigan. So shout out to the University of Michigan, which is actually, all joking aside from football, they've actually took very good care of my dad and my mom when they've been up there, and they did a real good job. So I'm actually highly impressed, doctors in the hospitals at Michigan. So shout out to them. But just seeing what he went through and how down he was and how beat up he was for a college basketball player to go through, similar treatments, the radiation, the chemo, and to come back and not only just come back and play basketball, but to actually be one of the top players for his team, averaging double digits. It's just amazing to me. Derek Coulter never got down on himself. He was a professional, as his teammates said. He was a professional through the treatments. After he's done treatments, he'd still come out there and help out with practice as much as he can, do what he can do to where he's at now, being a starter. So my why I love sports is Derek Coulter for Duquesne.
Giving a little personal touch to it. I like that.
Morgan, I hope your dad, recovers well and everything's okay. And my personal prayers will be with him. So.
Well, I do appreciate that, man. That's we all debate in the end, I do appreciate that. It did hurt me. He had to go to Ann Arbor, but they took good care of him. So that's all I care about. So
one of the best in the country. So
it is. It actually is.
Doug, what you have for us tonight, man?
Well, why I love sports, something that I've come to terms with recently is, I have a child, and Zach knows more than anyone that sportsmanship was not always my strong suit. I don't always practice good sportsmanship myself personally, but I've come with having a child to appreciate it more. And one of the things that I have seen recently and that makes me love sports is a story out of Western Oregon, a girl named, and I'm probably going to massacre the last name, it's Sarah Tukolsky. She was in her last game of her softball career, and she hit her first home run in her entire life in this game. As she rounded first base, she stumbled and tore a ligament in her knee. Now, the ruling states that if the player is unable to get themselves around the bases, that if the team helps or if the coach would to come out and help that player, that he would be ruled out. And if a pinch runner was put in place, she would forfeit her home run and it would be a single. So instead of that happening, two opposing players, Mallory Holtman and Liz Wallace, went up, picked Sarah up, and walked her to second base, where she touched second, walked her to third, touched third, and walked her home. So her home run counted. And despite the fact that this is a competitive sport and they are competing for a win, they went out of their way to help this girl finish her season, her career, the game, with her first home run ever. And it speaks a lot to what sports is as a whole. It's not about just winning and losing. It's about being a representative on the field. And these girls went out of their way to make it was a point against them. They went out of their way to make this girl, happy and to give her her home run. And it says a lot for the youth of our country, and says a lot for sports and what it teaches us. And they didn't have to do it. And in my time, I would have been like, whatever, give her a single, whatever, move on. But at the same time, it was an amazing display of sportsmanship, and that is what I'm sure Morgan, myself, and Zach eventually, when he has kids, will want to see on the field, displayed in front of ourselves. And that is one of the reasons I love sports. Is just it brings even competitors. It brings us all together under the same banner, and we're all better people for it.
There you go. That's a great story. I hadn't heard about that one.
Yeah, it was last season, I believe. So
give you guys a quick update. The slam dunk contest is apparently back. I'm just saying.
Is Will Barton in the finals? Then no, it's not.
No, but apparently these dunks by Zach Levine and Aaron Gordon are just ridiculous. Get on there and check them out.
No Will Barton. I'm done.
You know what, though? We should still leave the hashtag up. We should still try and get Will Barton 20 as much as we can. And, hey, maybe we can get him on.
Yeah, we need some guests.
I mean, yeah, we'll get there. But right now, we've had 137 downloads total, which is great, by the way. We thank all you who downloaded and thanks all of you who are listening. Let's be honest. Peyton Manning ain't coming on here right now.
Hey, I'm doing the best I can.
I got some friends in Tennessee. When he's the quarterback coach at Tennessee, I'll put in some calls.
I'll be up in Michigan in March I'll be at a spring game during a coaching clinic up there, and I'll hit up Jim Harbaugh, see if we can get him on.
Yeah,
Morgan would love that.
Trust him.
Yeah, there we go.
I will get Jim Tressel and Claret on together.
All right, that's our show. Thank all of you who are listening. Be sure to hit us up on Facebook, 2BlueandOSU. Tweet at us at 2BlueandOSU. Go ahead and give us a follow. We like feedback. We like dialogue. We like arguing with people. So about sports,
especially each other.
Not Beyonce. some damn sports stuff going. Come on. I definitely think that I won today's podcast with all of my arguments. I'm the winner. I'll win tonight.
You pulled down the flag for 100 points.
Whatever. Top shelf. I hit the top. So we're gonna be coming out on Mondays now. We're gonna start your week off right. Monday podcast. So be sure to check us out every Monday. Let us know what you thought about the show and check us out next week. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, one thing before we go.
Yeah.
Just for Facebook, on the 2BlueOSU Facebook, I want to see what everyone's top 10 sports movies are.
Top 10 sports movies.
And be honest, no limit like Becca, because
So let us.
I want to see top 10 sports movies for some of our listeners, and hopefully we can get into that and debate that sometime soon.
And we'll let you guys know ours next week. So tune in then. Thanks everybody for listening.